Welcome to World Public Media Channel. Once again, Russia is in the news, this time with its ex-president Dmitry Medvedev. According to Dmitry Medvedev, the ex-president of Russia, the Russian atomic weapons would be immediately deployed if the existence of Russia was in stake. Moscow will have recourse to the nuclear weapons only in 4 scenarios, which all represent an existential threat for the terrorists declared on Friday. The ex-president nitromit to the French media, speaking to the television channel LCI. Medvedev was asked whether the Russian military doctrine allows the use of tactical nuclear weapons. The former president replied that Moscow's nuclear position had been made public and that nothing was secret. There are 4 reasons for using nuclear weapons for the sake of the French public. I call them the launching of nuclear missiles. The use of nuclear weapons, attacks on critical infrastructure that control nuclear weapons, or other actions that threaten the existence of the Russian state, he said. Adding that none of these situations of these products so far regarding the possible use of tactical nuclear weapons or weapons containing depleted uranium. The former president noted that unlike some Western countries, Russia has never used them in the last 20 to 30 years. NATO countries have actively used them in Yugoslavia and Iraq. There is some uncertainty about this, with very tragic consequences, so in this sense we must first look at what Western countries have done in certain situations, said Medvedev. The former president stressed that Russia's response will be proportional to the magnitude of the threats facing his country, and that Moscow's military offensive in Ukraine, which began in late February, is a defensive and preventive measure. According to Medvedev, one of the reasons for the attack was a statement by Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, who once said that Kyiv did not rule out the restoration of its nuclear potential. For the record, Ukraine had handed over all its nuclear weapons to Russia in 1994. Obviously, he wanted to scare us, but in the end he created an even heavier atmosphere that finally forced the Russian Federation to launch a special military operation, he said. Last week, Ivan, who is the deputy press secretary of the Russian Foreign Ministry, said that Moscow did not need to use a nuclear option in Ukraine and that Russia is a responsible nuclear power that will only use its nuclear arsenal if it is truly threatened. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has condemned any use of nuclear weapons, calling them weapons of death and unnecessary destruction. Our world has been held captive by nuclear weapons long enough, he posted on his Twitter account. Help the channel to grow by subscribing and sharing the video around you. Don't forget to leave your point of view in comments.